Hey there. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit kind of a different video, pretty short one. Not a demo, not a lesson. It's sort of some of the weird stuff we get up to around in the shop here. So I, on Saturday, just 3 or 4 days ago, found on Craigslist someone was selling this thing. That is a rotating speaker cabinet pulled out of a 60's, I think, Spectratone organ. And it's, if you can see, I'll show you again. That's a little mini rotating speaker cabinet. So you can see that speaker revolves around that axis in that circle, and it's got 2 4-inch speakers. Right now, I bet it's really only putting out about maybe 10, 20 watts. Those are tiny little ancient 4-inch speakers. And in fact, one of them's blown. And so I'm going to replace that. But, you know, it sounds pretty good as is. I kind of taped that speaker up just to do this video. Now, when I got it, it just did fast. Probably too fast for most people to find usable. And I'll show you an example of, I'll crank this thing all the way up and show you how it worked before. Now this is the fastest speed here. But I had my buddy Jeff, he's an electronics whiz, and I said, hey, you know, I know you love working on weird stuff, and you got to see this thing. And I have a small project I want you to do on it. So what I did is I asked him if it would be, how hard it would be to add a speed control to it. And he said, oh, that should be really easy. I just get a line level pot, and you can see it here. So it just looks like a regular home fixture, but he added an on-off switch, which it didn't have. It plugged in and turned on, and that was it. You can see it, that speaker is winding down now. Turn it back on. And he added this nice little speed pot. So the fastest speed on this was not usable for most people. But you can hear it winding down now. You know, most people want this thing on really the slower end so you get those swells and it doesn't sound choppy. This thing going again. All right, there we go. There we go. Now you can hear it going. So you can tell those are not great speakers. They don't have very much bass in them at all. But I mean, this thing is just so super cool. Right now, I'm actually driving it with a Vox Super Beetle head. It was the easiest thing for me to pull out and drive without getting out, pulling out, combos and stuff. And the tube heads I have around the shop would just be too much, and it would blow the speakers on this pretty much instantly. But, the first thing I was blown away by how noticeable the effect is. I'd actually never heard a rotating speaker cab in person, but boy, you really hear the effect. I mean, right off the bat, and there's no pedals or anything. Slow that down a little bit. It's just a cool little thing, made much more usable from my friend Jeff to hook me up with the speed control for it. At some point when I get sick of messing around with it, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to pop some 100-watt, 250-watt speakers in it. So this thing will be able to handle a fair amount. And honestly, this thing is just a super ton of fun. I mean, it's one effect, but you never hear this effect in person. You always hear it through pedals. You never hear it from the original source, like what it's supposed to sound like. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it. Keep your eye out for this on my reverb shop, maybe down the line after I do some other improvements to it. But anyway, I just thought this was a fun thing. People might enjoy seeing something like this up close. Have a good one.